You know, this might sound like something straight out of science fiction, but it's not. We're going to dive into a new science fact: how a simple snapshot of your eye could soon be a super detailed diagnostic report for your entire body. We're talking about a future where your biggest health secrets are literally hiding in plain sight. So, it really all boils down to this one question. Can the unique, tiny patterns inside your eyes actually tell the story of your health? And no, that's not a trick question. According to a whole bunch of new research, the answer is a big, resounding yes. I mean, we've all heard that old saying, right? The eyes are the window to the soul. It's a beautiful idea. But what's absolutely incredible is that science is now taking that beautiful idea and turning it into a medical reality. So it's not just a window to the soul anymore, it is becoming a literal window to the body. Okay, so how is this even possible? Well, that brings us to our first big idea, looking at the eye as a direct window to our health. Just imagine all those intricate details inside your eye. They're not just biology. They're like a detailed treasure map to what's happening all over your body. And listen, this isn't just some catchy marketing phrase. It's a real foundational concept in medicine. And why is that? It's because the eye is the only place in our entire body where you can look directly at our blood vessels and nerves in their natural state. No cutting, no surgery, nothing. But, how do you actually read a map that complex? Well, that's where the tech comes in. In this next part, we're going to see how we're training the AI Oracle. Basically, how we turn simple observation into this powerful machine-level perception. The key to all of this is what's called an AI model. At its heart, it's just a really sophisticated computer program that's designed to do one thing incredibly well: learn. You feed it mountains of data, in this case, thousands and thousands of eye images, and it literally teaches itself to spot patterns that are way too tiny or complex for any human to ever see. So how exactly do you teach a digital oracle? Well, it's this really cool 4-step process. First, you gather up thousands of eye scans. Then, and this is the secret sauce, you pair every single image with that person's actual health data. The AI just churns through all of it, learning to connect, say, a tiny curve in a blood vessel to that person's blood pressure. And after a while, it gets so good that it doesn't even need the health data anymore. It can make an unbelievably accurate prediction just from the eye scan alone. All right, so we've built our digital oracle, we've trained it. Now for the fun part, the payoff. In this next section, we're going to look at what the eye actually reveals. And honestly, the results of all that machine learning are pretty amazing. This really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? After all that work, all that training, what can this powerful AI actually tell us just by looking at a picture of an eye? The answer? It's kind of mind-blowing. Just look at this list. We're not just talking about eye problems here. The AI can predict things about your whole system. It can estimate your biological age, not just your birthday, but how old your body is acting. It can literally read your blood pressure from the veins in your retina. It can even predict your hemoglobin levels, which is a huge deal for conditions like anemia. And yeah, of course, it can also predict the path of serious eye diseases. This isn't just some new gadget. It's a potential revolution in how we do non-invasive diagnostics. I know, this might all be sounding a little bit like magic. How does the AI know what it's looking at? That's a super important question, and it's what we're going to dig into next: seeing like a machine. We're about to peek inside the machine's mind. So you often hear people talk about AI like it's a black box, right? You put some data in one end, you get an answer out the other, but what happens in the middle is a total mystery. Well, that's starting to change. Researchers are coming up with these incredible ways to pry open that box and actually understand the AI's logic. And they do this with something called model interpretability. Now, the easiest way to think about it is like this. It's a tool that lets scientists basically ask the AI, hey, show me your work. And the AI can then create something like a heat map over the eye scan, highlighting the exact pixels and features it used to make its decision. And this is why that interpretability is so important. It's not just about, being curious. It lets doctors and scientists check the AI's work and make sure it's focusing on real biological signs, not just some random glitch in the photo. It's how we build trust and prove the science is real. But, of course, it's not all perfect. A technology this powerful is always going to have some risks. And that brings us to our final and maybe most critical section: uncovering the hidden biases that could really mess this whole thing up. So what happens if our all-knowing oracle has a blind spot? Well, the single biggest challenge here is that an AI is only as smart and only as fair as the data you train it on. If you feed it flawed data, you're going to get a flawed oracle. It's that simple. And this slide really lays out the two roads we can take. If you train an AI mostly on data from one group of people, it becomes an expert on only that group. That means its predictions could be dangerously wrong for everyone else. That's why building data sets that are balanced and diverse isn't just a nice idea. It's a moral requirement to make sure this technology is safe and works for everybody. So after all that, the science, the incredible potential, and the serious challenges, we're left with this one really powerful thought. What if, in the future, your annual health checkup was as simple as taking a photograph? That's the world this research is trying to build.